Good morning, and welcome to Music Sunday, this week's service of the Unitarian Society of New Haven. My name is Jen Kapranov. I'm a member of the worship committee, and I'll be your worship associate today. If you're joining us for the first time, we're glad you chose to be with us today. We meet electronically for now, but soon we'll be together in person. We invite you to bring all that you are, your beliefs and traditions, gender, race, class, sexual orientation, gender identity, and the wisdom of your years to this congregation. You are welcome here. May you always seek your truth, speak your truth in life, and live your truth through service. And through all of your days and nights, may you experience love. Today is the day our choir had originally planned to sing an extended musical work for us. Although that will have to wait for another time, the service will still be a celebration of our congregation's love of music through performance of diverse genres by musicians from within our community, reflections from choir members, and readings. We'll contemplate together the importance of music in our lives.
For the lighting of our chalice, symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith, please join me in saying together words written by Dag Hammarskjöld. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being, to receive, to carry, and give back. May there be times of gentle tones and soothing melodies. May there be rhythms upon which we can rely to rally our spirits in this time of need. May there be teachers and bandmates, fans and good companions to help call our best music out of us. May there be moments when we are transported, moments when we discover we are not just listening to music or even making music so much as the music is flowing through us. The music is playing us.
Hello everybody, and for the message for all today, we have a special song, and I'm joined at a safe distance by my mother, Ellen Greist. What keeps us warm when a cold storm roars? What brings new hope to distant shores? what knows our hearts and speaks our names. What springs forth from this chalice flame? It is love, it is light on a dark winter night, smiles and good cheer any time of year. What brings a smile on the hardest of days? What works through us every time it plays? What speaks to us in every tongue? Wise and old, but keeps us young. It is love, it is light on a dark winter night, smiles and good cheer any time of year. What keeps us near when we feel so far? What runs through minds and souls and hearts? And what calms us down, yet charges us up? What flows like water and fills our cup? It is love, it is light on a dark winter night, smiles and good cheer year after year. Music, music, music.
Hi everyone, Erica and I just want to express our gratitude to all of the talented guest musicians who are helping to make this virtual Special Music Sunday possible.
And since the choir isn't able to sing together today, we thought we would bring their voices to you in a different way, sharing some words about the special place that music holds in their lives.
Choir is good for body and soul. We breathe together, we laugh together, and we enjoy the music.
My earliest recollections is of my mother singing constantly as she did housework. It was from her that I got my appreciation of music. First, I took piano lessons, but eventually wound up playing the euphonium, which I still do after 70 plus years. And yes, I've also sung in choirs all that time.
Hi, everybody. I can't think of a better way to create our beloved community than by singing in our choir. I just love it. And now that we're not singing together each week, I really, really miss it and miss all of you, and can't wait to get back to singing together. And thanks so much to Jeff and Erica and Bill for creating such a wonderful environment where we share our music and just enjoy the camaraderie of it all. Love to everybody, and hope we're together soon making music.
Hi, John Manning here. I'd just like to say that music lifts up my heart, my soul, and makes me feel happy.
I love that so many of us bring so many kinds of music to worship service, and I really love that we all love the music together.
Hello. Music is powerful. I love the way it can sometimes tap into the secret magical places inside that are tender when you didn't even realize it, or it can touch a memory or an emotion, And I feel like that's a way that we all connect to music and to each other, because we have these feelings and secret moments of transcendence in common.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to say a few words about music, in particular about singing. If we've sung with others, through breath, spirit, and presence, we have shared a connection that is one of the closest that human beings can ever have. It's what I love about being in the choir. We're a team that wins just by trying to be on the right wavelength for each other. There's both difficulty and joy in rehearsals, and then a completely different kind of energy that goes out and is given right back to us when we sing for the congregation. I would say that we're all having a hard time being separated from each other right now. There's no doubt. But during this period, we can still make music together in memory, thinking back to the countless moments when we were here together, shaping the emotional tone of a room with invisible song. We did it for the kind of experience that goes way beyond words, and we'll do it again. Missing you all. Be well.
Hi everyone, we're David and Trisha Mangold Heiser, and we have an old favorite Joni Mitchell song here for you called Real Good for Free. These days, with concerts canceled and live music hard to come by, we're reminded that music is a gift whether we pay for it or not. And we'll follow this with a waltz called Midnight on the Water. I slept last night in a good hotel. I went shopping today for jewels. The wind rushed around in the dirty town, and the children let out from the schools. I was standing on a noisy corner. I was waiting for the walking green. Across the street he stood and he played real good on his clarinet for free. Now me, I play for fortune and those velvet curtain calls. I got a black limousine and two gentlemen escorting me to these halls. And I play if you have the money, or if you're a friend to me. But the one-man band by the quick lunch stand, he was playing real good for free. Nobody stopped to hear him, though he played so sweet and high. They knew he'd never been on their TV, so they passed his good music by. I meant to go over to him and ask for a song, maybe put on a harmony. I heard his refrain as the signal changed, playing real good and free.
Social justice work has long been a foundation of Unitarian Universalism. For some of us, it is the most profound practice of our faith. In the words of James Luther Adams, right attitudes are never sufficient alone. They must find embodiment. Each week we make time during our service to lift up groups within our congregation who are meeting the world's needs, not with indifference, but with action. This morning we will hear from Graciela Reese from the Mental Health Awareness Task Force.
Thank you for having me here. My name is Graciela Reis. I'm a co-chair of Mental Health Support Group. So for the last 5 years, we have been talking about sense of community and how this is important and how this impacts your life. We believe that sense of community refers to a feeling that members have of belonging, a feelings that members matters to one to another one, and to the group and to the community. And through that, we share feelings, you share faith, you share important things in your life, and you try to find the best way to address all these feelings and work as a community and work as a congregation and work as friends. Those things is a vital part of life, and this is a vital part of our mental health. We know, and at this time, because we are going through the isolation and quarantine, and we know that impact our life, that's impact our psychological life, we are offering on Sundays a support group from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The information will be found at the weekly letter. You are very welcome. Please enjoy your group. Feel free to contact us. We are there to support you and your family. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to see you on Sunday at 5. Thank you.
The poet Khalil Gibran writes, "Joys and sorrows are inseparable. Together they come. When one sits alone with you at your table, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed." Each week we take time in our service to speak of some of the joys and sorrows that are sitting with us. Please keep Joan Silverman in your thoughts and prayers. She had a fall and has lost some of her abilities. She has moved into her daughter's home and is awaiting consultation with her cardiologist. She would love to receive emails at this time. Vicki Seitz was in the hospital for 2 days, and we are glad to report that she is back at home now. I invite you to share other joys and sorrows in the chat. Please keep in mind that this service is electronically available to anyone with a computer. Please do not mention anything in the life of another person unless you have their express permission. There is a final joy to be shared this Sunday. Megan Lloyd Joyner and Anthony Clark are so happy to let you know that they have a new addition to their family. Sora Marie Joyner Clark was born on April 22nd, 2020 at 2:36 in the afternoon. 6 pounds, 4 ounces, 18 inches long. The labor was long and the baby is healthy. Sora means sky in Japanese and the sister in Romanian. She is named in honor of a family friend who died in April of 2014, and a number of awesome women in their family named Mary. Megan writes to us, "In these challenging times, she arrives like the clear blue sky."
This reading is from The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary. Every time, it's a miracle. Here are all these people, full of heartache or hatred or desire, and we all have our troubles. And there's this life we're struggling through, full of shouting and tears and laughter and fights and breakups and dashed hopes and unexpected luck. It all disappears just like that when the choir begins to sing. Everyday life vanishes into song. You are suddenly overcome with a feeling of brotherhood, of deep solidarity, even love. Every time it's the same thing. I feel like crying. My throat goes all tight and I do the best I can to control myself, but sometimes it gets close. I can hardly keep myself from sobbing. So when they sing a canon, I look down at the ground because it's just too much emotion at once. It's too beautiful, and everyone's singing together, this marvelous sharing. I'm no longer myself. I'm just one part of a sublime whole to which the others also belong. And I always wonder at such moments why this cannot be the rule of everyday life instead of being an exceptional moment during a choir. When the music stops, everyone applauds, their faces all lit up, the choir radiant. It is so beautiful. In the end, I wonder if the true movement of the world might not be a voice raised in song.
Greetings, dear friends. As your UUA president, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for supporting your local congregation. I am so proud of the way Unitarian Universalist congregations are responding to this moment. At fraught times such as these, we are reminded how much we need each other, how much we need communities of care, purpose, and spiritual depth. Thank you for your congregation's ministry. This is a time of year when many Unitarian Universalists pledge their financial support through annual congregational pledge campaigns. I want you to know how much your giving matters. I want you to know that you belong in this spiritual community, whatever your financial capacity. We are a people in covenant with one another. To be in covenant means that when you are in need, you are held. Being in covenant also means that in times of crisis, those who can give more do so. We take care of one another in this way, and in turn, we make it possible for our congregation to continue to care for others. A financial pledge is a promise, and making one is an inherently hopeful act. It feels good to give in whatever way we are able. Abundance is everywhere. Across our association, we have remarkable leaders providing worship and inspiration for all ages and life stages. We have incredible leaders providing pastoral care and small group ministry and holding the collective care of our communities. We are gathering in a myriad of new ways. Yes, there are unseen challenges before us, and there is so much we don't know about what's to come. But we do know that we have each other. We have this religious tradition. We have this beloved community. We have the opportunity to lean deeper into our ministry, to be blessed and to be a blessing. Thank you for the ways you are responding with deep ministry in this moment. Thank you for your generosity.
We are Dan and Sally, your co-chairs of the Stewardship Committee. Yes, you're seeing us again. And this Sunday, we have very exciting news with an opportunity for you to make a huge difference in the Unitarian Society's financial health. An anonymous group of members has come forward with a match challenge, just like an NPR. In addition to the generous pledges these donors have already made, they have offered to give an additional $6,400 if USNH receives that amount in new pledges, increased pledges, or special gifts by Wednesday, May 6th. We are thrilled by this news, and we gladly accepted their offer because we know that each of you in some way will be able to help us reach the magic $6,400.
If this is the first time you've heard of this match, look for an email blast that was sent on Friday with all the details on how you can be a part of this effort. Never pledged before? Pledge now. Want to increase the amount of your pledge? Yes, you can. What about a special gift? Perhaps a stimulus check or the money saved from lower gas prices and decreased car use? Or maybe savings from those special double mocha lattes you have missed in the last month. Whatever. Yes, we are in the midst of tumultuous times, but our future and a new minister beckon. Our beloved congregation can emerge stronger than ever, ready to share our UU values and meet all the challenges in the months and years ahead. Join us with your gifts, increased pledges, or new pledges by May 6th. Thank you, and all our best wishes.
You have heard from the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Susan Frederick Gray. You have heard from our own Sally Connolly and Dan Gelperin. The only thing I have to add is a quote from a letter of the Apostle James. It is good to be doers of the word and not merely hearers. And you have an opportunity to be doers of the word this morning. You could go to our congregation's website at the end of this service and make a donation or a pledge with just a few clicks, and you can do it right now.
Music. What can I possibly say that any of us couldn't say? I'm not even unique in having been surrounded by music since my prenatal days. Many of us are the children of musicians or otherwise received that gift. For us, music is literally the love which from our birth over and around us lies. I can't imagine worship or life without it, without making it or listening to it. A few years ago, I went to a meeting called the Neurosciences in Music, and I heard an archaeologist speak about the origins of human music making. He believes that the very first expressions and communication of emotion among our pre-linguistic ancestors was in the form of music, that was the first music. I got goosebumps. Imagine that. Imagine the first melody. Imagine the first melody that's remembered and shared. Imagine the first harmony. Imagine the first song. It must have been like the discovery of fire. No one really knows how music started. What I know is that I couldn't live without it.
It's a privilege and a pleasure to make beautiful music together for all our friends, families, and everyone.
For me, there's nothing like music for making connections. Singing together, playing together, it's so much more fun than doing it by myself.
Music program here at USNH has been a wonderful way of being able to connect with the other performers and also to connect with everyone in the congregation.
Good morning. My name is Carol Arnold, and I have sung in alto in the USNH Church Choir for over 25 years. Singing for me is a joy. Through the many years of scouting and the many years of singing in other church choirs, it has been a blessing for me to play a part in the ministry of music. Thank you.
Listening to and creating music allows all kinds of emotions and to connect to something bigger than me.
Hi everyone. Sure wish we were singing for you today, but I just wanted to say how much choir means to me. Jeff and Erica are amazing. Linda, of course, is still amazing. Bill is amazing, and it's just such a joy. It brings me great pleasure and lifts me up. Hope you're all doing okay. Bye.
Hello, everyone. John and I have been singing at USNH for nearly half a century. I was the USNH music director from 1972 to 2017. Before that, we sang in the Gettysburg College Choir that led to our marriage 55 years ago.
I started singing in my Lutheran Church Children's Choir in Baltimore, and my mother was the director. When I met Linda at Gettysburg, I learned that she directed her first choir at the age of 14 in her hometown of Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Music is a strong bond for our own family and for our friends at USNH. When Jeff and Erica took over, it was a wonderfully seamless transition. We have loved every moment. So that's what music means to us.
Ditto.
I often wonder why we devote so much time and energy to music. Almost all of us, whether we're professional musicians or music lovers, crave daily doses of this art form as something like a biological need, and almost all of us has felt the profoundly direct way music can tap into our deepest emotional reserves. How does a collection of vibrations, a melody, a chord, a timbre, do this? I'm not sure we'll ever fully know the answer, but a few years ago I became aware of the work of a number of neuroscientists and archaeologists, people like Stephen Mythen, Daniel Levitin, and Oliver Sacks, researchers like the speaker Linda Mehta referred to in her reflection earlier. Some of you probably know Daniel Levitin's book, This Is Your Brain on Music. His follow-up was a book called The World in 6 Songs, which attempts to explain how and why music has shaped human evolution and culture throughout our history. This morning, I'd like to read to you an extended excerpt of that book. Levitin writes, "Music is characterized both by its ubiquity and its antiquity, as the musicologist David Huron notes. There is no known culture now or any time in the past that lacks it, and some of the oldest human-made artifacts found at archaeological sites are musical instruments. Music is important in the daily lives of most people in the world and has been throughout human history. Anyone who wants to understand human nature, the interaction between brain and culture, between evolution, mind, and society, has to take a close look at the role that music has held in the lives of humans, at the way that music and people co-evolved, each shaping the other. Music is not simply a distraction or a pastime, but a core element of our identity as a species, an activity that paved the way for other behaviors such as language, large-scale cooperative undertakings, and the passing down of important information from one generation to the next. In the beginning, there was no language. We may have had music before we had a word for it. We had sounds, of course, and they communicated to us: thunder, rain, and wind, the sound of boulders or avalanches rolling down hills, the warning calls of birds and monkeys. And sights and smells added to our awareness of things happening in the world, sometimes benign, sometimes a warning. Before language, we were critically limited in our ability to represent what wasn't there. We usually think of evolution as governing our physical bodies, the opposable thumb, walking upright, depth vision, but our brains evolved as well. Before there was language, our brains did not have the full capacity to learn language, to speak, or to represent it. As our brains developed both the physiological and cognitive flexibility to manipulate symbols, language emerged gradually. This new neural mechanism gave us the three cognitive abilities that characterize the musical brain. The first is perspective taking, the ability to think about our own thoughts and to realize that other people may have thoughts or beliefs that differ from our own. The second is representation, the ability to think about things that aren't right there in front of us. The third is rearrangement, the ability to combine, recombine, and impose hierarchical order on elements in the world. These three abilities alone and in combination are the common foundation of language and art. Language and art both serve to represent the world to us in ways that are not exactly the world itself, but which allow us to preserve essential features of the world in our own minds. Our urge toward artistic expression shows up in cave paintings and decorations on otherwise solely utilitarian items such as 30,000-year-old water jugs. Some of the earliest cave paintings show humans dancing. Our drive to create art is so powerful that we find ways to do it under the greatest hardships. In the concentration camps of Germany during World War II, many prisoners spontaneously wrote poetry, composed songs, and painted, activities that, according to Viktor Frankl, gave meaning to the lives of those miserably interred there. Frankl and others have noted that such creativity under exceptional circumstances is not typically the result of a conscious decision on the part of a person to improve their outlook or their life through art. To the contrary, it presents itself as an almost biological need, as essential a drive as that for eating and sleeping.
You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing. Oh Lord, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing, 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 Spirit says sing. You gotta drum when the Spirit says drum. You gotta drum when the Spirit says drum. When the Spirit says drum, you gotta drum. Oh Lord, you gotta drum when the Spirit says drum. Spirit says drum, 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 Spirit says drum. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance. Oh Lord, you gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. Spirit says dance, 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 Spirit says dance. The Spirit says dance.
Please join me in the words for the extinguishing of our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again. Love is the spirit of this congregation. May the songs that we sing, all the music that we make, celebrate this love. May the lives that we lead embody this spirit. Our service is ended. Our time for conversation begins.
Des Lebens will
es Revelt
We're excited to invite you to participate in Candidating Week for Reverend Linda Susan Ulrich, starting Monday, April 27th. That's tomorrow.
Now is your chance to get to know Reverend Linda Susan before the congregational vote on Sunday, May 10th.
Over the next 2 weeks, Reverend Linda Susan has scheduled a series of virtual group meetings with staff and committees.
In addition, there will be 2 town hall style meetings open to all who wish to participate.
There will also be a series of small group meetings where individuals will have the chance to engage in a more informal gathering with Reverend Linda Susan.
You can sign up to be a part of Candidating Week by visiting our page on the USNH website under About Us.